Hello, everybody. Hello, friend. It is Jillian Leslie. I am founder of the Milo Tree app. I am founder of Catch My Party, which is the largest party ideas site on the web. I am host of the Blogger Genius podcast, and I'm also a business coach. And I wanted to pop into this group because I just love it so much. And I wanted to talk about Pinterest. Hello, welcome. So let's talk about Pinterest. And Pinterest is definitely going through, I think, some changes. I think that Pinterest is taking a page out of Instagram and TikTok's playbook and saying, we maybe should think about keeping people on our platform rather than having people come to our platform ultimately to leave it and go to see blogs and articles, things like that. And therefore, if you notice, Pinterest seems to be leaning into creators and keeping the creators on the platform. And this is where stories, for example, come into play. And if you notice in your feed on Pinterest, you're seeing a lot of stories because they want to give a stage to people who are actually creating on the platform. To be honest, for Catch My Party, we get a ton of traffic from Pinterest. And for us, it hasn't made so much sense to be investing in stories. We've experimented with them. For us, static pins are still really where it's at. But how do we play to the algorithm's liking? Well, we do things like we pin a lot and we pin consistently, but we try to stay within Pinterest's kind of guardrails or really what Tailwind has set up so that, you're not spamming the platform. We are really careful that everything we add to Pinterest adds value, solves a problem for people searching, especially for party ideas with Catch My Party. And for Milo Tree, it's all about business growth, kind of like, this Facebook group. So then the question is, what about followers on Pinterest? And Pinterest is one of these platforms, like we study Pinterest very closely because it's super important to our businesses. And the thing that we know about Pinterest is they are changing things all the time. And back when it first started, people were using hashtags. And then they said, no more hashtags. And then they said, nope, hashtags are okay. Yeah, let's use hashtags. Put like 3 hashtags on. And then they said, no, you know what? You could put as many hashtags as you want. Or when it started, people were using affiliate links. And then they said, no more affiliate links. And then they said, okay, you can use affiliate links. Or they come out with things that they test all the time. For a while, there was communities on Pinterest to see if that would stick, and it didn't. And now they've come out with stories. Oh, and this also relates to followers. In the beginning, they showed your follower count front and center, and it was like, whoa. And then follower count kind of disappeared. It was still there, but you had to dig for it. And lo and behold, follower count is right there, front and center again on your page. Initially, you would go to people's Pinterest pages, and then they came out with the feed and the smart feed, so that really I would recommend to people, like, don't worry that people are going to come to your page, because chances are they probably won't. And hello, Amy Bao. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Thank you for saying hi. What I was saying is follower count has been all over the place in terms of what they've shown. But notice now follower count is back and front and center. Back to the idea of, do people come to your page? Like initially you worked on making your page look really good. And then the truth is nobody would come to your page because they would use Pinterest as a search engine, hoping that your pins were shown in people's searches or in their feed, but it wasn't really about like, what does our Catch My Party page look like? That kind of thing. Well, now things are shifting. And because they're focusing on creators, they are focusing on your page on Pinterest. I think they really are highlighting that, and your follower count number, which is, as I said, front and center. So just be mindful of the fact that Pinterest is definitely shifting. a little bit. Is Pinterest still a virtual search, a visual search engine? Absolutely. But pay attention to these changes. Now, the question is, even though follower count was kind of at first front and center and then hidden and now back, did it not matter for a while? Like, is it now mattering more? Well, the truth is, it's always mattered. And the reason why it matters is because it is a signal, a very important signal for the algorithm. If you have a lot of followers, that means that your account is probably pretty good. Catch My Party, we have 1.5 million real followers. We didn't buy followers. We were not one of those accounts at the beginning that Pinterest kind of shined the light on and you got 1 million followers effortlessly. It wasn't like that. And the way that we grew our followers was with our Milo Tree pop-up app. That's actually how we built it. We built it for Catch My Party to grow our Pinterest followers so that we would get more traffic, and it really worked. And then we said, hey, let's roll this out as a separate business to help other bloggers and online entrepreneurs grow their Pinterest followers. So Pinterest followers have always mattered. I think now they are being shown more as a metric to say, oh, this creator, has credibility and authority. So do I recommend you grow your Pinterest followers? I do. And did I recommend it even when Pinterest wasn't highlighting your Pinterest followers? I did. And again, the reason is it's a really strong signal. And the way that Pinterest works is when you put up a new pin, remember, it is that pin in the first board that you pin it to that has the most relevance. Pinterest is going to show that pin to your followers first. It's a little bit like playing for the home team or the home court advantage. You want your pin shown to your followers first because chances are if they followed you, they like your content. And then if they interact with that content, if they click on it, click through, like it, any of those, it again says to the algorithm, oh, wow, this is good content. We should show it to a wider and wider audience. That is why followers matter, because you want your pins to be shown to like-minded people who already potentially know who you are, who already like you, who know you have high quality content behind that pin. That's always the big trick with Pinterest. You see a pin, it looks really good, and you click through and you hope that you're going to end up on the blog that say has that recipe. But sometimes you get deceived and you end up on some spammy site and so the more that is connected, the better. So somebody's saying, how do you get followers on Pinterest? Well, I recommend you use Milo Tree. And that's what I was going to talk about today. So Milo Tree is our pop-up app that asks people when they come to your site, it just pops up and says, follow me on Pinterest, and shows your most recent pins in it. It's super simple. But what's been great about that for us with Catch My Party is most of our traffic is coming from Pinterest. Last I checked, it was like 65% from Pinterest. And if somebody is coming, sees a pin from us on Pinterest, clicks over to our blog, and gets a pop-up that says follow us on Pinterest, they are so much more likely to follow us because they just came from Pinterest. They know we're credible over there. They liked what we did. And it becomes this really nice kind of like flywheel where we get, I don't know if you know this, we get about 600 to 800 new Pinterest followers a day. And I believe that it just is like, it snowballs and it grows. And that is how you do it. And the thing is, you don't want to go and buy a bunch of Pinterest followers because it doesn't matter. What really matters is the quality of your followers. And what's cool about Milo Tree is that those followers are your best followers because they're the ones who come to your blog, who've seen your site, who get your content. And you want those people as your followers. So I was going to share actually my screen. Let's see if I can do this, where I was going to show the back, like what Milo Tree looks like. So let's see what I can do. Let's go here. Hang with me just for 1 second. Nope. I think this is where I want to be. Let's see. Whoops, not there. Okay. Let's see if this is showing. Is this, let's see, can you see this? Let me see if I can show this. Whoops. Let's try that again. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. I'm going to share this screen. Here we go. Cool. Okay, this is Milo Tree. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right here because I've already signed in and I already have an account. And this is my pop-up builder. And notice this is for our Milo Tree account. I have a Pinterest. I have connected my Instagram. I have a custom link pop-up. I'm going to show you all these. And here is my Pinterest pop-up. And then I have one for my email. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one in the first position right here. And all I did was I clicked on Pinterest. I connected my Pinterest account. And here, let's see if I can show you this. Let's see. It's still showing me my Milo Tree. Oh, let's do it. Done. Okay. So here I'm going to go to Pinterest. I'm going to put Milo Tree in. I'm going to press update. And there you go. And this is what my Pinterest pop-up looks like. And these are my most recent pins on Pinterest. And then when someone clicks, it's going to send them over to my Pinterest account. So easy. And that is how it works. And the way it works on Milo Tree is if you sign up for your account, you get your first 30 days free. We ask for your credit card, but we don't charge it for 30 days because we want you to be happy and really like it. So the other thing I'm going to show you again, the back end of Milo Tree. Let's try that again. Okay, so here is my Pinterest pop-up. But I can also, here is my Instagram. It's asking me to reconnect my account. Great. And notice here is my Instagram, my Instagram pop-up. And these are my most recent Instagram posts on my feed. And notice I added these little cherry blossoms. Here's where I can turn on that, turn on snowflakes, or maybe even sparkles. Oh, I like sparkles right now. I will do that. And then I've also added a custom link. I don't even know what it's to. Oh, it's to the Facebook group. And so this is like the perfect way to grow your Facebook group. I created this image, uploaded it, linked it to our Facebook group. And that is how, although as I look at this, I realize that's the wrong link. So here we go. Put that in, scroll down, press it, and there we go. And then I've also got my email provider, and you can get my guide for Instagram with this. And then you will add your email address, and that will add you to my list. Let's stop the screen. So does that make sense? It's so easy. And I highly recommend if you're trying to grow your followers on Instagram or Pinterest or Facebook or YouTube, grow your email list, send people to a custom link, try out Milo Tree. Now, one thing is what that list is like a pop-up builder. It's kind of like a drip campaign, meaning the first time somebody comes to our site, to Milo Tree, let's say, or to Catch My Party, that pop-up that's in the first position will show to every new person who comes to my site. And then they'll go away for a couple days, depending on how long I set it to go to sleep. And if they come back to my site, they'll see the second pop-up on that list. And then the pop-up will go to sleep for a couple days. And if they come back, it'll show the third pop-up on the list. And you can have as many pop-ups as you want, all part of your account. Now, let's say though, I want to grow Pinterest, I want to grow Instagram, and I want to grow them at the same speed. I don't want to feature one over the other because remember, most of your traffic is one time. They're not coming back. So in your pop-up builder, you're going to grow that first account the most. But let's say I've got Pinterest and Instagram and I kind of want to grow them the same, or I've got Pinterest, Instagram, and my email list. There's a button in the back end where I can say randomize, and then every single person who comes to my site will see one of those three in random order. We keep track of which ones they've seen. And we show, if they come back a second time or a third time, we will show them the second or the third pop-up that they haven't seen. So that's kind of the workings of MiloTree. But I do think Pinterest followers are important in a different way than Instagram followers. I think Instagram is really about growing a community on the platform. I do think it's definitely, your followers can be like a vanity metric. It does signal to their algorithm to show your post to more people. But if you want traffic, I think Pinterest is your best bet for traffic, especially for bloggers. And I would be growing your followers in the background. The other thing you can do to grow followers on Pinterest is put Pinterest everywhere. Put it in your email newsletter and say, hey, follow me on Pinterest. Make sure that in your blog posts, it says, follow me on Pinterest. Make sure to put pins or to do like save it for later, or those kinds of things. So people are pinning your content from Pinterest. It's just that you want to get your Pinterest account out in front of people. Post it on Instagram. Do a feed post and just say, hey, if you like my content, follow me on Pinterest. Those are the kinds of techniques I would use to grow your Pinterest followers. And you can use a lot of those same techniques to grow your Instagram followers. So I have to say that I asked today in the Facebook group, what are people struggling with? And one person said traffic and scheduling time to do all of the tasks that matter as bloggers. So I wanted to talk about that. And then somebody else said subscribers. Similarly to Pinterest followers, Instagram followers, all of that, the best way I think to grow, let's start with subscribers. The best way to do that is you can use MiloTree and connect it to your email service provider. I would offer an opt-in, something of value, because just when you have that little box that says, hey, subscribe to my newsletter so you can stay up to date with what's going on kind of with me. Nobody cares about me. They care about themselves and how I can help them. So if I have an ebook or a cheat sheet or a simple download, that's what people want. And then over time, it's my job to sell you on believing in me and trusting me and liking me, hopefully, and building my authority that way. So in the beginning, they don't care. They don't know you. They really want value for them. So really think about that. That's one way I would definitely think about growing your subscribers. The other thing you can do is, let's say you do have a checklist, something like that. Make a pin for it and pin it to Pinterest and say, get my checklist, and then link it to a landing page where you've got your email sign-up form. Super simple. That's how I would do it. Advertise it, get your opt-in really good, something people really want, and then put it in Facebook groups so that people can, sign up easily and get this piece of value. Just make sure it's valuable and it's something people want, which might mean that you have to test a couple ideas. Your first idea might not be the idea that really works. So just think about that. But that is my recommendation for subscribers. Traffic is a whole different thing. Traffic, again, Pinterest, by far, number one. I would make sure to play by Pinterest rules, to really provide lots of value again. And when Pinterest makes a change, to be very mindful of that, to keep up to date on what Pinterest is doing. And the other thing, the long game, is SEO. And I've done some great podcast episodes on SEO. And again, a lot of it is creating content people want, content focused on them, not you, and optimizing your site in terms of site speed, in terms of performance, so that Google really likes it, that it's a good experience. I mean, in every platform, they want the user to have a good experience. If you can tee that up so that your content is a good experience, so that your, so that your site speed is good, so that people like being on your blog. It feels good. Those are the things that will help grow your traffic. However, know that SEO is a long game. Just because you create a post, you will not necessarily see traffic in Google from it for maybe a year. And you have to be really strategic about the keywords you go after. If those are big keywords where you've got big players who rank for those keywords, you may never rank for that keyword. So you remember, your job is to go after long tail keywords, things that people are searching for, but not a lot of people, because your chances of ranking for those are much higher. So that's what I wanted to say about traffic. And the truth is, traffic is the currency. You can't grow a business without traffic. You either have to pay for it, or you have to figure out how to get it organically. But at the end of the day, you will live and die via traffic. And then in terms of scheduling time, the thing that I ask myself when I'm doing something is, does this move the needle? Will this make me money? Or is this something that I'm going after where I think sometime in the future I can figure out a way to monetize this, but I haven't figured it out yet? It's worth it for me to maybe put 10% of my time, 5% of my time on those things, and really spend 90 to 95% of my time on the stuff that actually grows my business. So doing keyword research and writing that blog post. Well, if I can target the right keyword, that could grow my business. If I can think about my opt-in and making sure that it's something people want and it will grow my newsletter, that is really valuable. But here's the thing. If I don't have something to sell to my audience, it doesn't matter how big my following is or how big my newsletter subscription or my subscribers, how many subscribers I have. It doesn't matter. So it's about building out the pieces and connecting them together so that at the end of the day, you're making money. It could be through ad revenue by showing ads on your blog. But remember, I always say that's not going to buy you a second house. Ads on your blog it's a nice passive way to make money, but it's not, I wouldn't be just focusing there. I would really be thinking about other revenue streams. And as you know, if you listen to my Facebook Lives, you know this, I recommend products, but not affiliate products. It's another good stopgap. Sure, we want affiliate income. It's passive and it's nice to have, but it's also not going to buy you a second home. What will is if you figure out what your audience is struggling with and come up with a product that you can sell to them, that they will buy and hopefully buy over and over again, or you have a step ladder of different products that solve a solution where each one is, let's say, a little bit more expensive, goes a little deeper. But remember, that customer, that person who buys from you is so valuable, because chances are if they've bought from you and had a good experience, they'll buy from you again. It's so much easier to sell to that person than to somebody who doesn't know you. And now you have to go through that whole process of getting them to trust you and getting them to like you and believing in you enough to purchase. So just be thinking about that. It really is, in terms of figuring out your time, it's about where are you going to get the most bang for your buck. And then there are the fun things, like maybe you like doing reels or something like that. Give yourself that as a little reward, because there's a lot of stuff we have to do as online entrepreneurs that's not that fun. And you have to be able to stay in the game by doing the crappy stuff, reward yourself with the fun stuff, and just keep at it day in and day out, little by little. Like if you're having a bad day, I always say, can I do one thing? Just one thing that moves my business forward? Because then I've started to really build that habit that no matter what, I show up. I might not show up like beautifully in the most magical way possible, but at least I show up. And that's what I recommend for you. When we do our coaching groups, I say my job as your coach is to teach you how to stay in the game. If I can do that and keep you showing up, that's 9/10 of it. The rest is gravy. But you could know all the SEO strategies in the world, or all the Instagram hacks. And if you can't show up, it doesn't matter. You're not going to build a business. But if you can show up little by little and chip away and learn and go, wait, that didn't work, but maybe this will work, those are the people who really succeed. So that's what I want to say. If you are watching this and you're watching a recording of this, please let me know and put a comment in that says #replay, just so I know where you're coming from. If you have any questions about MiloTree, which by the way, I recommend you try. I think it is a fantastic product. We built it for ourselves and it works. And we've optimized it like crazy. A couple things that I wanted to just mention. MiloTree won't slow your site down. We have a variety of pop-up positions. Oh, thank you. Here, I'm going to see. I watch this. I can see who leaves me comments because I can't see on this. Let's take a look. Awesome. Anyway, let's see. There's a delay. Danielle, thank you. Thank you for the sweet comment. Okay. So just so you know, MiloTree, it will not slow your site down. We have a variety of different settings so that it won't show up. You can have it so it does not show up block ads. You can, your ads, let's say, are sticky at the bottom of your page. We have a setting where it will show here and won't block your ad at all. And by the way, MiloTree is so easy to set up. It takes 2 minutes. We decided when we built it that we did not want to give you so many settings and options that you had to have a PhD to install it. A lot of software is like that. Like, hey, it's going to take you 2 weeks to learn how to use this, but it's awesome because everything is there. We said, and this is David and me, my husband and me, we said if we can make a choice on our end that will reduce the choices you have to make, but we know it's the right choice, we're going to do it so that you could set up MiloTree in 2 minutes. And here I will put a link to it. It's just really easy. And so you can literally set it up in like 2 minutes and get it installed on your blog. We offer a WordPress plugin to make it super easy, or one little snippet of code. So for certain sites that aren't WordPress, you can still install it. However, you cannot install MiloTree on a site you don't own, like your Etsy shop page. I was just messaging with somebody who said, how do I install it on Etsy? And it's like, no, Etsy owns their code. They won't let you make changes to their code. Or Facebook, you can't install MiloTree on Facebook, but you can install it on any sort of site that you own, or a Shopify store, anything like that. So I recommend you guys check it out. I want to wish you a happy Monday. I always get happy when I get to come on here and talk to you. Today is kind of a yucky day here in Austin, and it just makes me feel kind of logy. So getting to talk to you guys is so rewarding. So thank you for those of you who are watching. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. And thank you for being part of this really wonderful, wonderful community. Reach out to me with any questions you have. I'm at Jillian@milotree.com. You can message me here on Facebook. You could leave a comment here. I see everything. I'm really active on this page. So please don't be shy. And if you have any business questions, I'm always happy to help and to offer my advice or suggestions. And coming up on Wednesday, I have a new podcast episode. It is all about Clubhouse. So for those of you who are curious, what is this thing called Clubhouse? And I have some extra invitations. So if you are on iOS, which is Apple, so that's an iPhone or an iPad, they haven't yet opened it up for Android, but if you have one and you want an invitation, message me your cell phone number and I will send it to you. So happy week. I'll be popping in here again and look. Oops. Ooh, that's my Apple Watch doesn't understand. And Wednesday, my new podcast episode will go live all about Clubhouse, and you can let me know what you think about it. And I will talk to you later. Thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye.